Fun with failure.
Welcome again to Fun with Retail. We've got 8 stories for you today, so I hope you enjoy them. So sit back, enjoy. Hope you never have to experience this, and here we go. First off, for a bit of background information, I work as an assistant manager for a small department store. We have around 200 stores in the country, and I get along well with the store management teams that are nearby. We talk quite frequently on the phone. Now, I'm 22 and female, which is quite relevant to the story. So, one day I receive a call from an assistant manager at a neighboring store. He starts asking me questions about a product for a customer. Here's how the conversation goes. Good afternoon, this is the retail store. How may I help you? Hi, I'm the assistant manager from a neighboring store. I was wondering if you knew anything about this new lipstick that is being advertised. I have a customer here who can't seem to get the product out of the tube, and I have no women working here today, so I have absolutely no idea how to help the customer. Hey, sorry, but without seeing the product, I can't really help you. Is it a normal lipstick tube? Does it have any buttons on the side? At this point, I hear the woman in the background swearing about how inadequate the staff is and how bad the products are, and I can hear this poor fellow getting antsy, and he's looking for a quick way out of this discussion with her. Why don't you send me a picture and I'll have a look for you? He sends me a picture and it's a chunky lipstick pencil, the ones that you have to sharpen with a large pencil sharpener to use. I chuckle slightly, and I tell him that it needs to be sharpened, and she can buy a sharpener suitable for it at any beauty supply store. Oh my God, thank you so much. This woman is a nightmare. I'll tell her now. No problem. Let me know what she says. And I'm still laughing at this point. I hear him start to explain to the customer what I told him, and then I hear her shouting, "Sharpen it? How? It's made of plastic. That's ridiculous. How come no one that works here knows how to use the products? Let me speak to a manager." Uh-oh, crazy alert. She's not having any of it. I've already explained to her that I'm the only manager on duty today. She's demanding her money back. Let me speak to her. Is she your manager? No, she's the manager of another store who is assisting me with your product. Let me speak to her. At least she might know what she's doing. Would you talk to her? She might believe you. Please? Okay, but you owe me big time. At this point, I'm shaking my head in disbelief at this crazy woman. Who the heck demands to speak to a manager of another store on the phone? Hi, darling. How may I help you? Now, I'm trying to kill her with kindness. What do I do with this lipstick? I'd like to make a complaint to you about this manager. He needs firing. He says that I have to sharpen it? It's made of plastic, for God's sake. Okay, darling. I'm afraid the only way you can get the product out of this specific lipstick is to use a sharpener that's made for beauty products. You can buy one from any beauty supply shop. The product is designed for you to be able to sharpen it. This is ridiculous. I know for a fact that you do not sharpen it. It's made from plastic. Give me an actual adult on the phone who actually knows how to use the dang makeup. I'm sorry, darling, but I am a manager from another store, and I have experience with this product. If you're not happy with my advice, then you should go elsewhere and seek advice from another professional in this area. Now, I'm dying of laughter inside. I'm barely able to keep it together on the phone. That's it. I am never shopping here again. You have lost a customer for good. This man right here needs reprimanded for his lack of customer service skills and product knowledge. I then hear the phone fumbling about and the assistant manager's voice chuckling down on the phone again. Oh my God, that was an absolute nightmare. She just threw the lipstick over the till and stormed off in a rage. Whatever you said worked. I definitely owe you one. Apparently around an hour later, the lady came back into the store and began shopping like nothing ever happened. They went to the cashier and acted completely normal and left. What a big bag of crazy that woman is. I work at a greeting card company in the mall, and our parking deck floods easily when it rains. Yesterday it was raining, and they announced over the mall PA system that the first level of parking was beginning to flood, and they advised all customers and employees to move their cars accordingly. I'm the only employee in the store, so that means I have to close the store to move my car so it doesn't get flooded. Most of the customers understand, except for this one lady, because of course she doesn't. This is how the conversation went. Okay, everybody, they're announcing the parking deck is flooded, so I'm gonna have to go move my car. I'm sure that some of you do too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna evacuate the store for 10 minutes or so we can get all of this squared away. I'm not leaving this store. Ma'am, my car is about to be flooded, so I have to close the store. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but I'm gonna have to ask you to step outside just for a few minutes. I promise I'll be back quickly. Absolutely not. I'm a paying customer. You can't do this to me. Now, admittedly, I could have handled this better moving forward, but I was already tired since it was nearing the end of my shift, so naturally I wasn't being the friendliest that I could have been. Ma'am, we can do this one of two ways. You can evacuate the store as I've asked you to do twice, or I can close the gate with you inside. I don't care what happens, but I'm closing the gate right now. Now the customer, she starts rushing out of the store and she says, "This is so unprofessional, you can't do this." Ma'am, I'm not letting my car flood because you don't want to leave the store. Have a good night. I'm calling customer service. I'm gonna have you fired for this. Now, I don't understand exactly what she expects to get out of this. I mean, what is she gonna say? Oh my god, an employee made me leave the store due to an emergency. Oh, how dare they? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. I live in a very rural area in an old farmhouse. Now this shares property lines with a tree nursery business. They have a sign out front, but it really looks like a big farm with a lot of heavy equipment. On the day in question, it was Sunday. We were moving into our new house, and a very old fat guy with overalls comes walking over up my driveway. Now he's fat, and you can tell that he looks mad.
Why aren't you over there working?
Huh?
I've been waiting for you for an hour now. I drove 60 miles to buy 100 tomato cages from you, and you've kept me waiting this whole time.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't work there. I live here.
Yeah, right. You just don't want to admit that I'm right.
Do you see a moving truck right there? Do you see my family unpacking boxes and taking them into the house? I live here. The man stares at me. There's a phone number on the sign in front of the business. Call it and get the heck off of my property before I call the cops.
I don't have a phone. Can you call?
I give him a blank stare and I say, "You drove 60 miles to get here and you didn't call ahead to see if they were open? Then you come over here to yell at me when you can't find an employee? No, sir. I don't have a phone for you to use, but I'm calling the cops." With that, I took out my cell phone and I started dialing. He hightailed it out of there. I have no idea if he ever got the tomato cages. I hope he didn't. I work at a Giant Eagle. If you don't know what they are, they're a big retail grocery store. Now, I've worked at more than one. This happened not too long ago between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. I was bagging in lane 5 when one of the customers brought me food that was wrapped on a paper tray. Before I was about to bag the food, the wrap broke and the food fell everywhere. The customer told me that the Deli employee didn't wrap it properly, so I had to clean the counters, and the customer, they had to get new food on a new wrap tray. I hope that Deli has karma come back and bite him. Or me. No, that's gross. I'll leave it to karma. A man and his wife come up to me at the counter after several minutes of wandering the store.
Excuse me, do I need a key for the restroom?
Yes, sir, you need to see one of the managers. He storms off angry. Then he comes back to the counter as I'm ringing up his wife. Now he's even more in a huff.
I don't know why it's even locked. It's out of order anyway.
Now there's an out of order sign that's clearly hanging only on the urinal. I'm sorry for the confusion, sir. It's only the urinal that's out of order. The toilet's still able to be used.
I don't want to use the other one like I'm 5-year-old.
Then he storms off. Seriously? You don't pee in a regular toilet at home? Only 5-year-olds use your toilet in the family? A year or so ago, I was at a local Walmart after my shift as a server at a local restaurant. I was wearing my apron, a bright yellow t-shirt with the logo of my restaurant on it, and black pants with an apron. Now most Walmarts, they wear blue polos or blue vest, and they wear black pants. As I'm shopping, the lady walks up and she asked me where something was. I told her that I thought it was on aisle 9. I was actually making up an aisle because I don't actually remember where the item was. She snaps back angrily. What do you mean you think it's on aisle 9? Isn't it your job to know? No, I don't work here. I just figured I'd help you out since you were asking. She got all red in the face and was practically yelling at me. Well, if you don't work here, then why are you wearing a uniform? I just laughed at this point and I said, clearly this uniform is for my job, which is not here. It's not even the same color. Now go be rude to someone else. I'm trying to shop here." And I left her just standing there glaring at me with her mouth open. Now I'm not usually a snappy person, and that's obviously paraphrased, but I'm proud of myself for sticking up for myself regardless. So I used to work at this pretty popular East Coast grocery store chain. It was called Price Chopper. I was one of the customer service associates. Part of my job was processing refunds, dealing with complaints, and doing price adjustments, which usually entails signs that read differently, forgotten coupons at the register, and etc. We always used to have this woman come up every week. She always conveniently forgot her coupons when checking out, and forgot to scan her loyalty card. She'd then come up to my station and try to con me out of more money than she deserved. I always caught her in a lie, but I had to always have my customer service voice and tone, or I'd get in trouble.
"Oh, this coupon's supposed to be double."
"I'm awfully sorry about that, ma'am, but I can see you've already used that coupon in this order. You're more than welcome to use it next time you come to shop with us." Now my inner monologue, I'm saying, I hope you trip all the way outside and eat crap. So, I quit, move on to bigger and better things, and I move out of the area. But due to still having friends in the area, I frequently visit. On one visit, I'm wearing khakis and a zip-up hoodie, and I'm holding a case of beer. Now, I'm in line at the checkout. This woman, she was up at customer service yelling at an associate currently working, someone I trained and I think was way too good to be working there. She's thrashing around and yelling, and she sees me in line. She gets this mug crap-eating grin on her face and she storms over to me.
"Your trainee is being extremely difficult to work with. He won't take my coupons. He says they're expired, and I know your manager makes exceptions. He won't even try to accommodate me."
"Oh yeah? Dang. I guess it sucks to suck." She loses her mind. She starts screaming for a manager. The manager comes over to us, baffled as to why he's being called, and she starts screaming about how rude I've been, how I've helped her before in line, and how I was refusing to help her now because I didn't like her. As my ex-manager tries to explain to her that I don't even work there anymore, he realized that she was lying. I totally and completely lost my crap. I just started screaming, "Listen up, you stupid idiot. You're the worst. Every single time you came into the store, I try to go back in the back and hide. You smell awful, you have zero personality, and you look like a dumpster fire with lipstick on. We used to walk on eggshells around you because we needed a job. But I don't work here anymore, so screw you. Screw you. Everyone here hates you. We know you're a scammer. We know that you would literally do nothing except for try to save 35 cents on eggs. You know how stinking sad that is? Also, why in the many years of you coming here have you never bought soap? Try some. Seriously. It's like a family of squirrels died in your mouth. And the only way to find them is to follow the trail of dead teeth. Your life is garbage, so screw you." It was like years of pent-up anger toward her was just released, and she just stepped back and was speechless for once. I know I yelled more, but for the life of me, I can't remember what I yelled. She ended up just leaving without saying a word. Now the manager, he was a super nice guy, and he hoped that I understood, but he had to ask me to leave. But he only gave me a few days, and I'd be welcome back as long as I watched my behavior. I totally understood that he had to do what he had to do, and on top of all that, he told me to just take the beer and leave, and to not worry about paying for it. Thank you, bud. So this is my first experience with a crazy customer while not on the clock. So enjoy some pertinent information. I'm always calm and easygoing. The only times that I'm not is when I'm playing Dark Souls or Uno. Anyways, I was at Wally World one day. I was most definitely not wearing a uniform, and it was quite obvious. I had a black shirt with large white print on it with silvery pants. I was looking for some video games or some electronics to add to my collection. I was minding my own business, just checking things out when I see someone come down the aisle in what seems to be a mobility scooter. Like a normal person, I move out of their way while continuing to browse. Except this person, they stopped next to me. And in this voice that sounded like they'd been smoking fat cigars from hell for 9 years, they say, "Pens." At this point, I know there isn't any in this aisle with us, so I'm confident that I'm about to have a "I don't work here, lady" moment. Boy, was I right. Also keep in mind that I turned to this lady, and she doesn't seem disabled per se. She's just morbidly obese. What about them?
"I need them. Where they at?"
"I'm sorry, I don't work here. There's an employee right over there." Then I point over at the electronics help desk.
But you're right here. Why don't you help me?
Because I don't work here, and I don't know where they are.
But you helped me last time I was here. Even if you're off the clock, you have to help me.
I'm so confused. I haven't been at Wally World for months, possibly years, because I just never needed to. I always get groceries somewhere else. After another repetition of the same conversation, it didn't work. I don't work here, and I haven't been here in a while. Whoever helped you, it wasn't me, so please leave me alone. At this point, I'll walk away because I'm done trying to explain to her, and I dislike talking to people anyway, especially when they're being rude or stupid. Cue the lady yelling at me.
Get back here and help me!
As I'm walking away, I'm just mentally shaking my head at the stupidity of some people. I start to walk far away to the kids' toys, because I need to get a toy for my cousin's birthday in a week. I come back in about 5 or so minutes, still without anything in my hand, and I'm greeted by an empty aisle, which may or may not have been a good idea. I resume my browsing for another half a minute when I hear another person coming down the aisle next to me. Seeing it was just an employee, I move out of the way, but I hear another voice, this being the Wally World manager.
Why aren't you in uniform?
Then I turn to him.
Wait, who are you?
Just a guy who wants another USB extension cable?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then he walks away. I just shrug and I continue looking. A mere minute later, he comes back, and this time with a fat smoker woman.
Yeah, that's him. He's the a-hole that was rude to me.
Lady, I don't freaking work here. I've told you this already, and I'm not off the clock. I simply don't work here at all.
Yeah, he doesn't work here.
So he was rude to someone else besides me and was fired since the last time I came here. He deserved it, since he obviously knows where the pins are. He just doesn't want to tell me. That's probably why he was fired. You dumb idiot. You know, you should be more respectful for your disabled and your elders. In the 90s you would.
I've already told you I don't work here. I never have. I don't care what would have happened in the 90s, because it wouldn't have happened to me, because I don't work here. So stop bothering me. Now, I've finally had the proper reaction to this. She is so morbidly obese, when her head moved back in reaction of shock, and her mouth opened to a silent gasp, her corpulent neck appeared to sink into her torso like some large fleshy turtle. It was really disgusting to watch.
What? How rude. I demand you apologize, you ungrateful brat.
Then she turns to the manager.
What are you gonna do about this retard? He should be banned from this store for speaking to customers like that.
Please lower your voice. The only thing I'm going to do is ask you to leave, because you're the one that's disturbing customers. He doesn't work here. He never has. And he hasn't even been rude to you. You have been disrespectful to him and me. So even if he was an employee, I would probably thank him for being as patient as he was.
Then she became classically triggered, her fat arms shaking as she starts slamming her fist in front of the scooter, screaming insults at the both of us. At this point, I am less than amused with her, and I try to get past her to leave, because I just wanted to get out of this situation. I wasn't interested in getting some kind of discount or filing a complaint. I just wanted out. However, this she-devil, she had other plans. As I walked past, she screamed,
"Where the heck do you think you're going?"
And she grabbed my arm with her absurdly sharp fingernails. This made my arms flare up in pain, more than what should have come from just digging nails into an arm. I naturally grunted as this happened, and I tried prying my arm out of her grip. Surprisingly, I was able to pull myself away from her with the help of the manager. Then it started to bleed. The police arrived because another customer was calling because of the shouting. She was arrested on the spot for assault and harassment. As the cops escort her out of the store, she tries running. Yes, running. Even though she was using a mobility scooter before. She wasn't even disabled, just fat. That being said, she only increased her land speed by a negligible amount before tripping and toppling over a shelf with a lot of glass faces. Oh yes, karma. The manager and his co-workers were very helpful. They patched up my arm, gave me some free stuff, and offered me help in pressing charges. I, of course, accepted this offer. As anyone who treats another human being like this, they deserve to be punished severely. She is now facing prison time, which I will enjoy very much. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed these stories. If you have any stories you'd like to share, you can send them to my email. That's at funwithfailure@gmail.com. If you like those stories, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more. So, which one of these stories did you enjoy the most? please post it down in the comments below. I want to give a special thanks to the ones who allowed me to read their stories, especially one that was submitted by a viewer. If you have any suggestions on how to make this channel better, please throw it my way. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time.